Hi, welcome back. This is week 21. Today's August 16th. I'm at Entrepreneurship at UBC, a working space at Robin Square. Today it's pretty much empty. Summer holiday time. Today is the 146th day. So after this today, I'm going to have a meeting with my team. We're going to come up with great ideas and present it to each other and see if we can develop on each of our ideas and see what seems to be the most interesting among all. A little bit of update of the surroundings. So today's August 19th. Today is Saturday. As a lot of people have noticed in the news, BC is under a lot of wildfire, and I'm in Vancouver, so we don't have any evacuation orders yet, but the people in more of the east side, Kelowna, in Okanagan right now, they have to evacuate, so my heart's prayers go to them. Vancouver right now, it seems a bit hazy, but nothing crazy. I don't smell smoke at the moment, but it does seem hazy. But yeah, this year there's been a lot of wildfires, so please be safe. Like people in Greece, like the islands of Maui, really, I'm sorry to hear about this tragic news, and I just hope that people can get back to their normal lives. Prayers to them. Before we go on to the video, if you're new to this video, please subscribe. We produce and post videos every week. So if you are interested in our journey, please subscribe. And I'm trying to share our knowledge, our experience through the startup community. So if you can share this, like this, view this to the very end, it will help the YouTube algorithm to spread this even further, to reach out to people who need this information. So thank you for the subscribe. Okay, great. So thank you everyone for sending out your ideas. So I think we're going to take some time to do a presentation and talk about each of our ideas, present our ideas, and everybody can ask questions around, okay, what do you mean by that? And so that we're clear on what each of those ideas mean, and maybe we can develop on, hey, that's great, we can maybe target another market or like another customer. I wrote 4 ideas. Let me start with idea number 1. So I was thinking of, okay, I use Craigslist and it's just awful. And I was thinking, okay, can there be a possibility of replacing that? And I thought, okay, now that we're on all videos, we're on mobile phones, so it's something that we can build up that will be mobile friendly, that will be more visual, and also have a secure element to that you have eKYC. You would have to submit your ID to make sure that this person is not some dude just randomly get some phone number or whatnot and trying to scam you. If we can do that, we'll have a more secure place that we can trade, get information, get involved with each other, and then we'll have it like more entertainment. So let's say I'm trying to sell this water bottle. I would do a video about this. Hey, this water bottle is great, and I'll do a fun video about that. And you would want this to go viral so that you can actually show this to more people, that this will be selling at a higher price will increase. So there's an incentive from the person who's trying to, let's say, sell something, or somebody who's interested in buying something, looking for something, to have this video or photo exposed to as many people as possible would make sense for the person who's doing the video photo and also for the platform. So they will share it on like TikTok, X, Facebook, whatnot. We'll use all that SMS to market the thing that they're interested in, but that will give us more exposure. Let's say I see something on somebody's video selling some sort of product. I can go on and say, hey, I want to buy that. I just pay.
Have you used Facebook Marketplace?
Yes.
And so the competing factor with Facebook Marketplace is this idea that you could share it to social media and it's more integrated that way?
But like for Facebook Marketplace, I haven't been scammed or anything, but this person's from 2023. This is not somebody who's been in Facebook for a long time. They just made this ID just for the purpose of selling something. So if you're suspicious about that, there's no KYC element to that. There's no ID checking and all that. There's a bit more information compared to Craigslist because you put your face, you probably sell some items so you can track the record of the person. You get valued feedback, like you get 3-star, 4 stars, and all that. But still, from my point of view, it's not complete in the interaction, and like the UI is just terrible.
I just like Facebook Marketplace, but I don't think there's enough value for them to jump ship because people do trust Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
People move from Craigslist and from Kijiji to Facebook Marketplace because it's trustworthy, which I would agree with you. I don't think it is, but if they do.
But this is on top of other sites like Mercari and Poshmark. They don't all offer services, which is something that's a little bit different in your pitch. But they offer, it's gamified in regards to community, there's verification, and there's like secure payment options. I probably couldn't even name, I don't know, there's way more than just Mercari and Poshmark. It's a very saturated market in regards to community marketplace. It has a very solid security.
There's a spin-off of this that came through the UBC incubator. It's called Wanderlight. Do you remember them, Hiroki? The idea was it was specifically for outdoor gear, which is quite expensive. If I want to go on a trip, instead of going and buying the gear, I can just go to somebody else in the area who has it and is not using it.
Okay, now
rent it.
Reminds me. Okay, they were talking about outdoor activities. Yeah.
And so if I'm looking at, just for myself, I tend to mountaineer. The boots themselves are like $700. Then you get skiing, for example. It's $1,000 for skis and $500 for boots. Instead of, if I want to go for a week to do a ski trip, I don't want to spend all that money on that equipment. I can just go and find somebody else in the area who's got it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for expensive stuff, that makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to buy it like you're not really sure, or because you're traveling, you don't want to carry all that stuff with you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then that could be like, because I guess that kind of functions as what we have now. Facebook Marketplace allows you to do stuff like that, but you're right, it's not. You're risking a lot when you're doing a Facebook Marketplace, whereas this could provide a deposit functionality. This could provide vendor verification. That'd be interesting.
And eKYC is included.
I understand that it's a very noisy market. So let me just jump into the second idea. We talked a lot about job boards and helping people get jobs and all that. So I thought, okay, maybe we can stick with remote workers, people who do IT work. Like it could be IT engineers or web marketers, video editors, like all that. But they won't be freelancers. They will be like people hiring like full time. There's a lot of agents out there that, for example, like VanHack. There's a company called VanHack in Vancouver that sort of imports IT engineers from other countries to Canada and the US. So that's been around and it seems to be doing good business. And now that people can hire remotely and work remotely, I think it makes more sense that companies would want to make their organization in the remote world globally right from the bat. So we will have a pool of people that we will scan, make sure that they exist, and do the eKYC and all that for each country that we choose, that we will source people from. And then we'll have a AI generator, I don't know, some intelligent way of filtering people that they're looking for. I want a IT engineer specifically of Java, let's say, Java developing in consumer products and apps, let's say. So you can narrow it down on that sense. And we will take care of all the legality as well, because hiring would differ from country to country. It's just difficult to create contracts for each country and all that. So there are companies that already do that. So we will team up with them to take care of that. But we're just trying to make the experience as simple as possible to hire somebody.
VanHack does do remote work as well.
So again, this is a difficult, saturated market. What would be the thing that would set you apart?
I think the sourcing part is the key. So we would have people, let's say I come from Japan, so I know people in Japan. I know how to find people who are willing to work remotely and also work in, let's say, English. So I'll be able to do that. But if we can find those people like in each country region, I think it's all about providing the talent pool. If we have a good talent pool, companies will come. I think that's the selling point. And also make it as simple as possible. Sorry.
What's the difference between that and VanHack? Because I think that's their business model, isn't it?
In terms of differentiation, would it help if it's not just, say, developers, but we're also offering like a technical program manager and maybe a product manager? So it's like it's a team. And so instead of one or two developers, which will do like very specific tasks, we've got a team and they'll build a portion of an app.
Get into dev shop space.
It is.
You build it. Like TTT does that for prototypes, and then you get India, the capital of the world, for mass exporting of dev shops. I don't know, we tried it in the past and found that I personally found that I don't recommend dev shops when people ask me from a technical perspective how to build something. It made a lot more sense for them to have teams in-house.
Hey, if you have any comments, suggestions, articles that I should read around the TikTok sort of Craigslist, or the next one, which is Escrow, please write it down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, moving on to, I'll skip the bad idea, the blacklist. I'll do my last one, escrow as a service. So escrow is used when you purchase real estate. Sometimes it's used like when you're buying cars. I'm not really sure how often it is used for other business situations or for B2B situations, but I feel that there's a need, especially if you want to do business with a company that you really don't know much about. So there's not much trust between the company, but you have to do a big business. Then I think escrow makes a lot of sense, but I need to learn more. Just to explain, just in case, escrow is that you would have a third party take care of the money that has been promised. Let's say you promise to build an app or a product. You say it's $1 million. You have the money secured in this third party trust. And then once the product or service is delivered and the person who ordered it accepts that, then the money will be released and be paid. And you get a percentage of going through the transaction. That's basically how escrow works. There are escrow services and escrow companies in Canada and the US, mainly for real estate, but it's very human oriented. It's not IT. I found a company that is a website, but a website close to what Craigslist is. It's very old, but that's the only thing I could find. There was also a company in India that was trying to take a crack at that, but it only has services in India, but it has a better looking, it has an app, it has a nice website.
In theory, I really like the escrow as a service. And there's probably business beyond real estate, traditional real estate transactions that require escrow service for loan servicing. But I think that in the environment that we're in now and the money that is floating around now with like international buyers, for instance, purchasing in cash in the US is a thing. And outside, actually, US buyers that purchase outside of the country, often in a full cash transaction. I think there's still space for escrow as a service in transactions like that in real estate, but also in large purchases. So escrow could be used for boat, yacht sales, cars, and businesses. So I think that's a lot of space to establish.
It would have to be in transactions over a certain amount, but I would assume it has to be like at least $20,000-$30,000 because we want to make sure it's to the point where people are willing to pay for a service. For example, typically in Vancouver, if you're buying a condo, the escrow, the amount you pay to the notary for their services, which is one of them, which is escrow, is I think $800 to $1,500. Obviously, depends on the value of the transaction, so it's got to be high enough. The other thing to consider is that they usually sell you title insurance, which protects the buyer in case there's some issue with the title. So maybe there's some options there that along with the escrow service, there's some insurance we're providing to protect the buyer on this transaction. The last thing that tends to happen is there's an appraisal. So maybe that's something else we can do, which is if it's for a car, then we will provide an inspection, like a mechanic or something, just to smoothen the process. So just some additional, maybe horizontal areas to look at.
And logically, with a business, probably be easily into six figures and beyond. I don't think the fees would deter use, because the whole point is safety of transaction, protection of the buyer and seller.
Okay, so that's it for this week. oh wow, what happened to April's presentation and Ted's and Jay's? We'll do that next week because it was a 1-hour conversation altogether. We'll do their presentation next week. So if you're interested in listening to their presentation and their ideas, please subscribe to this channel. Also give a like, that'll be very encouraging, and I will see you next week. Bye.